What up, folks? What it do? Welcome to another episode of the Best Advice Ever podcast. With your guy, Mike Goodwin, the bow tie comedian. Now, if you're watching the video, you can see that I'm rocking some new swag. I'm rocking the Mississippi State attire. I like it. I like how it feels. It has a little pocket in the front. It feels like a coaching shirt. Looks kind of like a nursing top, but I like it. And I just spoke to the university, Mississippi State University football team, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But I wanted to rock it. So last year I talked to Oklahoma, and all of a sudden I'm a Sooners fan. So my son asked me when I went to go talk to Mississippi State, was I going to now be a Mississippi State fan? I was like, you darn skippy, son. So when I walked out with this shirt on, he was like, that's an interesting shirt you got on, Dad. You're darn right, son. Hail State. Now, I received folks listen to the podcast, surprisingly enough, because y'all aren't ranking, telling people about it, sharing it. But I had a guy, shout out to Thomas Neal. My man reached out on Instagram and he gave me a suggestion. And I'm gonna take the suggestions because that's what I do, man. I hear what y'all saying. But his suggestion was basically, hey man, let folks know about your social media at the beginning before you jump into the stuff. And I take it a step farther. I'm gonna give you an intro. What up? I'm Mike Goodwin. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, the Best Advice Ever podcast. It's a simple podcast that I created because I wanted to provide a connect point between my stand-up shows and my social media. I wanted something in the middle, something to bridge the gap. And since I'm a father, and like most good fathers are always giving advice, whether you was it solicited or unsolicited, right? And that is that's the stance I'm taking in this podcast. I'm giving you some advice from a life lived from a 49-year-old man. I just turned 49 this year. I've been around the world, man. I've packed a lot of activities in 49 years. I'm talking about I've gotten bang for my buck, and I'm not even done. So I've seen a lot of things, done a lot of things, and I just want to share some wisdom and advice. So that's the purpose of this podcast, giving you the best advice ever. Also, if you want to connect with me, go to my social medias platforms. I'm on all the things. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know if that's social media. And you can either find me in most cases at Bowtie Comedy. Just go to Bowtie Comedy and I'm going to appear. And if I don't appear as Bowtie Comedy, I'm going to be comedian Mike Goodwin. Those are the two ways in which you can connect with me. And when you connect with me on social media, I'm there for the jokes, baby. I'm there for the jokes. I'm there to give you a glimpse or a view of my life. I'm transparent, but some of the stuff ain't none of your business, right? Some things you may want to know, and I may tell you, or I may not, right? I tell a lot on this podcast because I'm much better one-on-one or in a live setting. So I can, in my podcast, I just be yammering on. Social media, I'm giving you little snippets. And it's really, so here's a behind the scenes. It's really not me. I got some people. Now, it's me that you talk to, because if you send me a message, I'm responding. But the posting, I post sometimes, but the stuff that's the videos and the memes, people were talking to me like, man, where your bow tie at? I don't know. I just saw this when you saw it. Now, sometimes I do see it a little bit before, but social media, I'm talking to you in my DMs. That's not some representative. But the items that are being presented or posted aren't typically me. Now, last week, I had a little snafu with the time. So I'm going to try to be a lot more mindful of where we are as it relates to time. So this is the Best Advice Ever podcast. Again, that's an intro to who I am. And here's fun fact. I'll give you a fun fact about myself. I'm a fake football guy. Yeah. I don't like football, people. I've grown to like football over the years. Fun fact, my first college, professional, any of those football games I went to, I was a senior in college. Yeah. Went to the University of South Carolina football game with two administrators from my college. And I'm thinking I might have been the only student because I'm grown. I'm an adult. So I had my peers who I went to school with, but I also was kicking it with the Falcon. Not on some like, I wish I was. I was not talking to faculty women. That's why I tell you that. I was not kicking it like that. I was in my lane. But like some of the guys, because I was at one point I was super involved in the athletics program. I was a exercise physiology major. So created some great relationships with some of those folks, athletic trainers, basketball coaches, those types of things. So yeah, I'm a fake football guy. I like football. I'm not gonna front like I don't like football. And then this is a topic definitely for another day. It's a deeper thing. My dad loves football. I feel like my dad loved football more than he loved me or us. And so I was like, you can't have us both. You can have football, but I won't play it. Right. And that's wild. That's wild every time I think about it. I made that decision when I was a young kid. So I am a WNBA fan, like legit. Aces fan. Definitely pay a lot of attention to what the Fever does. I'm probably more apt to watch an entire WNBA game than I am an NFL game. Those are facts. You do with it what you wish. But I can talk football. I like football. I'm a fan. I got my team. I'm a Gamecock. But I ain't that guy. I ain't the guy that's looking at how many stars. I don't care. I want my team to win. I want them to perform well. But I'm not losing sleep. And I've grown to this point because I was really emotionally involved and invested. So that's a little bit about me. Welcome to my podcast. But the topic and the reason that I have this podcast is for the segment that I'm about to do now. It's called The Best Advice Ever. And so the best advice ever for this podcast is simply lift weights, people. Lift weights. Now, I know when I say lift weights, you don't necessarily hear me saying lift weights. What you may hear me saying is get a six-pack. Go get an expensive gym membership. Go and get some creatine and some protein. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm telling you to lift weights, man. Find it in your schedule. I would say at least, depending on your age. I saw this clip. But there at my gym, I got this gym. I love my gym. And I got a few gyms now. I'm out here in these gym streets. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a fitness philanthropist. I spread my fitness around, right? So I'm not the traditional get my membership at Goals, because we don't have a Goals anymore here in Columbia. And I go to Goals for the rest of I am not that guy. I can get tired of your gym and I'm going to go get another gym. Or if a new gym pop up and I think it's interesting, I'm going to go see what the action is over there. I'm going to go sniffing around. What's going on over here at this gym? But what I'm telling you is none of these things. What I'm telling you is to, what in terms of the frequency, that's on you. The older you are, the less frequent you need to lift the weights. The younger you are, the more frequent. I lift weights all the time. I probably take a day, a week. I mean, I'm probably lifting weights at least 5 times a week. But because my nutrition's out of control, it don't look like it. But lift weights. Why do you say this, Mike Goodwin? I'm glad you asked. First off, as we age, we lose muscle mass. Now, that may or may not be true. I just think it sounds good. But I do feel like I've read or heard along the way that as we get older, we lose our muscle mass, muscle density. We lose our capacity to hold on to muscle. it atrophies, right? If you don't use it, you lose it, kind of the idea of that. So you must lift weights. Now, when I say lift weights, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about lifting weights for bone density. The truth of the matter is, the older you get, the more dangerous falling become. When you're a young person and you fall, it's funny. You trip up, you fall, somebody be like, you all right? You like, yeah, I'm good. Now they break out and laugh. Now, some people just laugh off the rip. You fall, they laugh. But when you get older, a fall can be traumatic. Like a fall can be the beginning of the end. I've seen it. I think that was part of some of the challenges my dad experienced before his passing. He fell. And the reason he's failed because he wasn't in a position to have strong, his bones were weak. Now, my dad didn't lift weights probably his entire life. He's just a physically fit guy. And he worked in a job that was manual labor. But manual labor, like he worked at a plant, sand plant. So he had the hard hat, the steel-toed boots, jeans, and the shirt with Mike, the blue shirt with the one side say his name, one side say the name of the company, right? He's a blue collar guy. But as he got, it was especially after he retired, my dad didn't really do much, and it caught up with him. So bone density, you want to make sure your bones are strong, man. Strong bones, baby. Also, you want to lift weights because you have improved mental health. And I'll make mention to him a little earlier, but I'm going to talk about Coach Prime at some point. But if you look good, you feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. So mental health is, man, you feel good when you look good. When you look good, when you got a little muscle on you. And again, people, I'm not telling you to be the jacked person in the room. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I just talked to somebody. I'm working, and I'll tell y'all some more. I hate these little cryptic conversations I'm having with y'all. But I met this production person, and I think I don't even remember what the first question was, but it could have been something along the lines of, like, if you could do anything or have anything, what would you have? Like, if you could be anything, what would you? And the woman's answer was to be jacked. And I loved her instantly. It was like, if you could do anything, what would you be doing? Like, she was like, be jacked. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be jacked for real. Like, I've been trying to be jacked for years. And I've been in certain times more jacked than others. I was looking at my dry bar comedy special. I'm pretty jacked in that. I'm pretty, and that may be that's kind of what I'm trying to get back to. That wasn't that long ago. I got a picture of me when I was in the military. I might have been 21, and that kind of was the ideal jack. I was trying to get back. I'm not getting back to that guy. That guy's gone, but I can get back to 2019, Mike. At least physically, my physique, I can get that back. I can't get back to 1995, 96. That guy's out of here, buddy. But that's my goal. So I lift weights to be a sidewalk cracking person, mofo, right? I'm on some CT Fletcher type stuff, right? But I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to be that guy and that girl. I'm just telling you to lift weights, because not only does it improve your mental health, it improves your posture and your balance. We talked about falling. I've fallen and I can't get up. What if you was lifting weights? You'd be up. You wouldn't be laying on the ground screaming. My boy got a joke like that. Corey Robinson, that's not my boy. Corey Robinson is my boy, but I'm talking about Corey Johnson. I went to high school with a kid named Corey Robinson. And Corey Johnson has a joke about, when the people on the life alert fall down and they yell, I fall and can't get up. He's like, tell the cameraman to help you up. He's standing right there. Tell the cameraman. Then he said to somebody, another comedian stole his joke, and it was just like, Corey, I don't think that man stole your joke. I think that's a pretty easy conclusion to get to. Like if you were writing jokes about Life Alert and falling, you probably would say, hey, tell the cameraman to pick you up. It's not that far of a stretch. Why should you also be lifting weights? For posture. Like I said, posture. My posture is questionable at times because I lean forward a lot, but I have good posture when I stand up. Balance. Got a lot of balance. Very nimble. And I think the older you get, the more you need to be. And falling is, I'm telling you, I almost fell yesterday. And it could have been bad. It could have been urgent care type fall, but I got balance because I lift those weights. It improves your heart health. And last but not least, get stronger. Like you can, like it just gives you a goal, something that, man, what are we doing in life if not trying to accomplish things and achieve? So if I couldn't lift the 25s last month, but I can lift the 25s that's progress. There was a day where you couldn't lift the 40s, but now you can lift the 50s. Like, man, I'm getting stronger. I can see it. I can measure this. So that's why it's important to lift weight. So hopefully you receive this advice in the spirit in which I'm giving. I'm not telling you to go and be a fitness model. I'm not telling you, again, to go drop 10 racks and build a home workout facility. I'm not telling you to go to the most expensive gym in your city. I'm just saying, please, sir, please, ma'am, add weight to your daily routine. If you walk, get you some of those little handheld dumbbells. They don't have to be heavy. Lift them as you walk around your neighborhood. I don't know if they do the old school ankle weights. We used to put ankle weights trying to dunk when I was a young one. But a gym, man, a membership isn't expensive anyway. I think about one of my current gyms, Planet Fitness, used to be super cheap. But I mean, I got like the max, the gold card. I think that's like $20 a month. And then if you can't do the $20, I think like the basic one is like $15 a month, $10 a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. I remember it was like $9.99. But get you some weights, man. Get you some weights. Yeah, ma'am, man, ma'am, he, him, them. I don't know your pronouns, but lift weights because it will benefit you greatly. All right, on the road. Let me tell y'all a little bit about. I've been on the road. I'm off the road this week. I was on the road last week. Well, I've been on the road. I mean, I done been a few places. So if I could remember, the last place I probably talked about was maybe West Virginia and Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio. I left my comedy notebook at the Funny Bone, and I didn't even realize it until maybe like a week had passed. Now, what you say, what's a comedy notebook? There's a notebook that I document all my shows. So I record my shows on my phone, but then I annotate them inside of this notebook so that when I show up a year from now, I go and look at what I did prior and I say, oh, we probably can't do those jokes. Now, in many instances, I still can do some of the jokes because maybe the people that are here this year wasn't here last year, but it helps me to like track what I'm doing, what jokes am I doing, what did I do last time, how much time did I do last time, what material did I do. So I put all this in this book. Well, I left this book at the comedy club, and oh my goodness. And not only did I leave that book, I have another notebook in which I'm making notes about the Big Dad Energy Tour, just my insights, how many tickets I sold at different places. I didn't even realize I had lost that one. I just was thinking about the big comedy book. I hit the club up. They were like, oh, yeah, we found it. Address, send it to you. And they did. They did. So I'm pretty sure I'll be going back to Columbus next year to do a comedy show. But on the road recently, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, which I probably say that a lot. I'm a big fan of everything, but I'm a big fan of Phoenix, man. I like Phoenix. Now, you wouldn't suspect, I think the statistic is like the 5th largest city, not Don't quote me on these things. I'm just kind of talking from what I may have heard somebody or thought I heard somebody say. Phoenix is also interesting because it has a lot of different wildlife. You know, they have tarantulas and they have something called uh, it's like a pig. Javelina is what I think it is. Yeah, look up a javelina. That would be Javali, I believe, or Ina. A javelina. It's like it's not a pig like you would think it would be a pig. It's some other form of mammal or species. They have one of those. They have scorpions in Arizona. I just like the different ty ty tygra ty topography. Topography. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. They have the mountains. I love mountain time. I love the 3 hour difference from the east. I like it when I'm there. I don't like it when it's time to come back home because you lose a lot of time. But also, Phoenix is hot. And they always try to do this thing where they say, well, it's just dry heat. Hey, man, if it's over 100 degrees, I don't care what kind of heat it is, dry, wet, green, blue, it doesn't matter. It's hot. And it's hot as Hades. And it's so hot, the Phoenix heat is so hot, it doesn't cool off at night. That's like we talk about the South, or the South, how I say it. And we talk about humidity, but at least at night, the temperature does manage to drop a wee bit, a tad bit. It will become cooler in the evening, at night. Not Phoenix. That joint is consistent, right? So I was at Phoenix. I did a software, a Christian software conference. Did a big conference. That was cool. Then from there, let's see if I can remember. Mississippi State. Shout out to the Bulldogs. Went and talked to Mississippi State, which was a very unnerving endeavor because I don't talk to college kids typically. That's just not my demographic. And then not only we talk college kids, we got kids in there that's making money. These are very rich college kids at this point. I don't know how much the payrolls are at Mississippi State, but they Power 5 school. And again, it's not my demo. It's not the kids. Like if I'm talking to all the coaches, yeah. If I'm talking to all the coaches in the athletic program at a school, oh man, I'm doing the thing. Man, but there's kids in there 18, 19. These folks are literally guys that could be my sons. Like they're that age. Now there are some older guys in there, some 23s, 24s, old schools, OGs. That's wild to me, right? Like if you in a locker room with a guy that's 25 and you like, yo, he an OG. That's why age gets really weird after high school. It means a different thing. So a lot of concern. And again, last time I spoke to a football team was last year when I spoke to Oklahoma. So I basically took that presentation and tweaked it. But it was a great experience. Shout out to Mississippi State Bulldogs. They're not playing South Carolina this year. So I'm adding teams like Thanos and the Infinity Stones. I got 3 right now. I'm a Sooner, I'm a Gamecock, and I'm a Bulldog. Mississippi, Hail State, right? Then also I just was in Minneapolis, home of Prince and Kirby Puckett. I did a men's conference, which was huge men's conference. It was huge. About 500 men on a Tuesday night came out to this Men Connect. They call it Meet and Meet. Now, the producer of our show, Jeremy, had a wonderful time texting me his spinoffs of Meet and Meet. And I will spare you what he came up with. But he was quite tickled, as my grandmother would say. He was quite tickled by the name of my program. Meet and Meet, because they had a cookout, a barbecue type deal. You gotta have men, you gotta have some meat. Men just not gonna come together for crumpets and Triscuits and bagels. You got to have some barbecue. You got some whole ribs, some brisket, right? I don't know if they had any sides, but I know they had meat. And then, yeah. So yeah, that was my most recent event. And now me and my wife are going away. Matter of fact, I'm recording this podcast a wee bit early, a little early, because we're gonna be gone from Saturday to Thursday. We're gonna sneak away to Bristol, Virginia / Tennessee. Like Bristol is the city that I went to earlier this year where I missed an event. Actually, that'll be one of what I will be talking about in my TED Talk. I'll be telling the story of how I put the wrong address in and went to the wrong venue. I should have been at the Paramount Theater in Burleson, North Carolina, but I was on my way to the Paramount Theater in Bristol, Tennessee. Holy smokes. So I had such a good time at that. I mean, I thought the hotel was very quaint. It was a nice city. I thought, man, this would be a nice place to bring my wife back to. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna get our getaway. In fact, I hit a guy, a fraternity brother of mine that I, stay trying to be encouraging and give him some wisdom. I texted him and asked him basically how he and his wife were doing. And I was like, y'all need to make sure you spend time with each other. And he said the thing that most couples with young children will say, basically they need to spend some time together, but they ain't got nobody watch these kids. And man, y'all, especially if you're young in your relationships, make up with your parents, your siblings, whoever, your auntie, somebody in your life got to be able to keep your kids. And we not talking about no extended. When people tell me this, it's kind of infuriating to me. Because what? There are 52 weeks in a year. And you mean to tell me that out of 52 weeks, y'all can't get 4 weekends? Y'all can't get somebody to keep your kids? Y'all relationships are such, or you such a hovering parent that you just can't separate yourself from your children, man. Like, y'all, that's not healthy. That's not healthy for you and your children. That's not healthy for you and your relationship to your spouse. It's the same thing I talk about, y'all putting these babies in the bed with y'all, man. Get them babies out y'all bed, bro. Like, the baby gonna be all right in the room, in the crib. Get that baby out your bed. The sooner, the better. And again, I'm a parent. I know I got it. I'm not void of emotions and compassion and empathy and love for my children. I would go to jail. I would finish this podcast and go to jail about my kid. This will be the last podcast in the free world. Next podcast y'all be hearing from me would be from prison. I have no complications, no I don't even know I'm using that word right, but I have no problem, no issue defending my children, caring for my children. But you need to care for your marriage as much as you care for them kids, because you know what them kids gonna do when they get 18, and maybe before that, they are saying adios amigos. So it pains me when I hear folks saying, "Oh, we got nobody to keep the kids, nobody keep." All right, keep on. But yeah, me and my wife headed out of town, baby. I need the break. Personally. I'm tired. So I need the break. Look forward to the break, and would encourage you to do the same. Twice a year at the minimum. Get your butt away from them kids. And then if y'all just can't keep the kid, oh my God, I can't get away. Get 2 hotel rooms. Get one for y'all, and then when y'all finish what y'all doing, you go over there with them kids and let your husband be in the room by himself, or your wife be in the room by themselves. Since y'all just can't get away from the kids. Get away from the kids. But as I wrap it up, I was thinking about my man. It's football season again. And I know I was ranting and raving about the Church of Prime. I don't know if I'm a faithful member. I don't know if y'all have been reading, and I hadn't gotten delved into it, but I saw recently that Colorado has banned a reporter from asking Deion questions. It sounds like he can come to the events, but you just can't interview Deion or the players. Which I don't know, man. And I get it because here in South Carolina, Spurrier used to, man, Spurrier. I'll remember the guy's name once I get off this podcast. But there was a particular, I think it was Phil something, but I'm not 100% sure. But Spurrier would get into it. Phil Kornblum? No, that's not. That's another guy. That's a guy it's a Clemson guy. That's a reporter that's on the South Carolina beat. He's in the Columbia beat, so he shows up asking weirdo questions, inferring different things. But that's not who the person was. But Spurrier got into this pretty famous controversy with a local reporter because it's like, hey, man, you should be reporting the stuff that's positive about our team. You shouldn't be witch hunting us. You shouldn't be putting crap in the paper about us. And the guy like, hey, man, I'm just calling how I see it. I'm just being a journalist, unbiased, unbothered. And I think, the same is true of this guy. He's written some very unflattering, unfavoring portraits of what the Colorado program looks like and what Deion is as a coach. if I'm not mistaken, I think he called him the BS King or the BS Prince or something. And I don't know if y'all saw the awkward exchange because the guy basically was asked a question and Deion was like, nope, not answering any questions from you. So I don't like that. I don't like it. I get it. I understand it, but I don't like not letting folks ask questions, even if they don't like you and they don't like your program. I don't really like that. I wonder what's Deion going to do this season? Is he going to be better than last place? I think they went 4-8, if I'm not mistaken. 4-8. Now, one thing that's true about me and my support. If I support, I'm gonna buy something. I have no Colorado stuff, so I think I'm just talking. I don't know how supportive I am because I don't have a hoodie. I don't have a T-shirt. I don't have a problem spending no money if I support you. So I don't know. I think I wouldn't be going to Deion's church this season. I think I would say when people leave the church, they make up these deep sayings. My season is up. The Lord has transitioned me to another college football ministry. Yeah, I'm with Mississippi State now. I'm not with the Buffaloes. But I wish Deion the most success. I want him to do well. I want him to silence the naysayer. I'm not a naysayer. I just don't know if I'm a loyal supporter. I'm maybe a Johnny Come Lately fan. Because I'm definitely not a Colorado fan by no stretch of the imagination. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I feel like that flowed a little better, man. I had some new stuff with this time too, because last week I felt like time was playing tricks on me. Still went a little longer than I would have liked. But thank y'all so much. Please, again, follow me on social media, comedian Mike Goodwin or Bowtie Comedy. Also, get on my email list. Just go to MikeGoodwin.com and there's gonna be a pop-up. And the pop-up will tell you where I'm coming. My shows are upcoming. I'm in Philly. I'm in DC. Those are the next two stops of the Big Dad Energy Tour. Philly, DC. I'm coming September 21st. That's the DC Loft. September the 22nd, I'll be in Philadelphia, Helium Comedy Club. Man, come out. Let folks know about it. If you got family and friends in those two cities, let them know. Birmingham, Alabama, sweet home. I'm coming in December. The Stardome Comedy Club. Also have a TED Talk that will be in Dallas, South Lake. TEDx South Lake. Grapevine, Texas. I think that's the particular. And I'll put some information on my social media about tickets there. And then I also have this other situation happening. I think we'll be able to announce it soon. But I'll be on this road. I would love for y'all to come and see me. If you're enjoying the podcast, please let me know. Again, I hadn't heard anything from my petty giveaway, so I'm going to reach out to Jennifer. I'm going to get my shirts. I'm going to be rocking them like I'm rocking this Mississippi State coaches windbreaker. I don't know what this is, man, but it's nice. It's real nice. All right, y'all. See you next time. Same bat channel, same bat place. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. See you next time. Peace.